Hey guys, what's happening? It's Sunday. We're out at the shop and we're getting ready to do some work on the shed. I'll give you guys a little cue. The first clip in this video was of the snow we had earlier this week and the single-digit temperatures. That's what's left of it today. So I worked on this building all week, okay? There was no way I could film, and I apologize. I am so sorry, guys. I just had to keep going. I could not have the camera out. It was blowing snow and cold, and I was thinking more about my camera than I was doing the how-to. Maybe I'll try and give a little description of how I did what I did. It's drizzling a little now. I can see water landing on the camera lens, so I'll give you a little talk through here. I had all the walls up. I'll talk a little bit about the rafters, okay? So let's look at the corner of the wall there. The way you figure out to cut a rafter is you've got this wall here, and you take a tape from the top outside corner of that wall. This building happens to be 8 foot exactly, so I made a mark at 4 foot, okay? In order to get a 6/12 pitch, in theory, and this is the way I was showed how to do it, you basically, this length of your triangle is 4 foot, so 6/12 is a 50% pitch, so in theory that ridge should be, the top of that tippy top should be 2 foot up, okay, to have your 6/12, and then you can either install your ridge board, which is, let's see if I can zoom a little bit. I think you guys can see it right where the end of that rafter is nailed to. You could install it and then measure your distance from the center of that board on top. I'm going to go up the ladder. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about so you can get that length of your rafter. So you would measure from the center of this board, okay? I'm sorry, from the corner of this board to this outside wall, and you can probably see it pretty well. I put the stupid hurricane clips on the wrong side, but that'll give you your total length of your rafter, and then you will add whatever you want for overhang on your eave. All right. You can see I got the purlins up here. All this is scab wood to screw your steel siding from the roof on. And all these guys is just cut to length 8 footers with the corners nipped off of them so that the roofing wouldn't get in the way. And so I have something to purlin up on the inside to put my steel roofing, or steel siding, which is going to be my roof. So I'm going to show you whatever you measure from here to here is your overall length, and that'll give you the area for your seat cut, which is the straight up and down cut for the outside wall. I'm sorry, the plumb, I call it the seat cut, I meant the plumb cut. You'll measure back this way and take 3/4 of an inch off of it, because my ridge is a 2x6, just like this rake trim is. So you'll take half the width off of that, and that gives you your mark to that. And I'll show you how to use the framing square, or I used the speed square and it worked fine. I'll give you full disclosure. I would cut 4 rafters first and go ahead and nail them to your ridge board, and do not, let me zoom back in, do not nail that ridge support down, because you might find out that you're the wrong height. It may be better to build 2 rafters first. I know that's confused everybody. You might search a video on how to build a rafter. I'm going to be a shitty teacher on how to teach you how to build that, but I'll show you and you'll get the idea. That's the only hard part about that, is figuring out your angles. So I'll put you on the stand and I'll just show you for an example, and we'll make one for, or I'll show you my I don't know why that's loose. Interesting. Well, let's zoom back out a little bit here. Okay, so basically what we've got, now you can use a carpenter square, which I chose not to. I use my speed square. But basically, I knew that my height was 53 inch, or length was 53 inches on that rafter. Okay. So you take tape measure, and of course this piece of board started out as a 2x4. So you'll measure from the long end to where that plumb cut needs to be. That was 53 inches, okay? And you make a mark. Then you come back 3/4 of an inch from that, because that's half the width of that ridge. You make another mark. The first mark is not the one you need, it's the second mark. So you take your speed square, and let's see if I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, you'll see marks. See if, can I get it to focus? Maybe put my finger in there for a second. Boy, that thing does not want to focus. This may be a fail right off the rip. Maybe the fluorescent light's in the way. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Let's put that down, face it toward the corner. So you put this speed square here. Let's see, maybe I can do this one-handed without the tripod, I don't know. I just can't get this camera to focus on that square. There we go. Okay, so your speed square will be right up against the end of this, and of course this would normally be an uncut board. This is a pivot point on a speed square. You know that you've determined it as a 6/12 pitch roof. You pivot this square, keeping this tight on the corner. Bring it until you're at the 6, okay? I mean, that might not be sitting exactly perfect. If you want to know what the angle is on a miter saw, I believe that's 26 and a half or 27. Or you can just scribe a line on this, and you can see this one's already been cut, but that's how you figure your pitch. Okay? So you'll zip that off, and we already know that we made our mark at 53, which is this long one, and we came back 3/4. I know that doesn't look right. It may not be, but this is just your for example. So you put your square on that line and measure your same 6/12 on the square. You pivot it back. Of course, there was more rafter here before. You know, I've cut the end of it off, but you can kind of see that's in line with the 6, and that's also your cut right there. Now, I wanted 1.5 inches so that this would come right down over the wall. Okay, so then you just take your speed square or whatever, and there's your 1.5 inches, and you would set it on that line, and you scribe a line across the top. You take your saw and you nip out this little bit. Okay, I measured this one long because I wanted an overhang over the top of the wall. If you're not going to have an overhang, you might not even have this seat cut. Okay, but because I'm having an overhang, I mean, there's a bunch of ways you could do it, but that's the way I did it. Again, that's the way I was taught. I apologize, I couldn't show you guys real time how I did that. But we're going to go look around outside. This is not going to be much of an instructional video. This is just kind of what's going on. I'm under pressure here to get this done. And I'm not an expert carpenter, so I'm kind of learning as I go. And I'm trying to bring you guys along for the ride. So now that we've Made sure the camera zoomed out, and we're at 10 minutes worth of bullshit here. I've got the purlin material up on the side, and again, those horizontal, this is just 3/4 inch 1x4 rough sawn, or not rough, it's just pine, nothing fancy. And this is what the siding will screw to. I suppose you could put blocking in between here all the way at your heights that you want, so you have something to screw your siding to, because when you put siding on, you don't run a row of vertical screws through it. Okay, you go across. So those are on. I've got them spaced roughly. I knew where I wanted to be. I wanted this siding to overhang my floor, and you can see the 4x4 at the bottom is my pressure treated. My siding will start on this strip right here. Okay, I measured from there to just under the eave and figured out, you know, what would be my equal spacing on each row of these. I wanted them about on 2 foot centers, but they're close to that. They're not quite, they're less than 2 foot, so it's a little stronger. And then when you do your layout and to do each side, if your building's level, you can use a level. You can just start one here, you know, to do the back, start it on this one. Notice your building grows in width. This is an 8-foot side. I let this side grow a little bit by 3/4 of an inch because this comes over the corner. Do you need to make it overlap like that? No, probably not, because your siding can dangle out there and you're putting a corner piece over it that's steel anyway. So you can put a board on there, tack a nail in it, put a level on top of it, and when it says it's level, nail it at the other side and just walk back and forth. Or do like I did. I know what my spacing is between each of these, and I think I took it inside last night, but basically I cut a piece of scrap that would fit in between there for that height, because you're going to have to fill in these corners anyway. Alright, so that's where we're at for now. I'm just filling all that stuff in, and I'll bring you back later just to probably show you a finish up of what I've done today, and maybe I'm not going to get real far today. I know that. I just got to get all these purlins on there to screw siding to. But that's the point where we're at. You guys have learned a little bit of carpentry, kind of as I have, so I'll show you more when we get there. See ya. What's happening, guys? It is Thanksgiving 2014, so to all of you who celebrate this holiday, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm going to give you a little progress update on the shed. I think I said before, I didn't make any video once I started purling in the sides and all that to put those strips on to screw the siding. I have sided the inside with leftovers from my neighbor, so please bear with it. It's been sitting outside. It's disgusting, but it doesn't have to be pretty to house that. And you should have seen me putting that bad boy in there. I had a pallet forks on the skid steer, and you can see outside I got a little 2-wheel or a 4-wheel caster dolly. I got one of those under the back here, and I got a block under the front right now so I could roll it to where I need it. And I've just been putting up siding inside here. So I got silver on the roof, which is what my neighbor has on his roof, and then he had some white inside the building and the exterior is brown, so we got a little you know, smorgasbord going on here. But I don't have a lot of room to move around and show you. But we got it, you know, most of the way put up. I got 2 more walls. I started this siding this morning at about 10 o'clock, and it is 3 o'clock, so 5 hours to put the ceiling up by myself and the walls up by myself. You know, it's a holiday, not going to ask anybody to help. So that's kind of the update. I did brick mold the inside of the door. I had bought this wooden brick mold, and one of my buddies gave me some of the Never Rot, so I put that on the outside. Just something to kind of trim it up a little bit. So got my trim on my rake and the fascia down the side. You can see a little piece of freeze track up there. I was going to try and squeeze a soffit in there, but I'm going to nix it. It's just too short. So that's your update for today. I'll get this cheeched up later on, and hope everybody's having a good one. We'll see you later.